There's a star striker running down the right. His name is Erling Haaland and he's ratting dynamite. What's going on, people? Welcome back. Could our dreams come true? It's the hope that kills you, ladies and gentlemen. But could it happen? Could it happen? Erling Haaland to Chelsea. Roman reportedly desperate for the move, the transfer to happen. Personally pushing for the transfer himself. Big Roman Abramovich, who sees this as the missing piece of the puzzle. Yes, there's been some news bubbling around and surfacing this last sort of hour or two, I believe it is, looking at my screen there, talking about how Chelsea do still have a chance of signing Erling Haaland. Haaland himself made a weird noise when it was poised to him about him staying at Dortmund this summer. He was like, they think that, do they? Well, let's see, I'll honour my contract, but I think he wants to go this summer. Possibly to Chelsea! Anyway, subscribe to this channel if you're new, I really appreciate it. Daily content, of course. Drop a like to show your support. Daily content on Football Yannick as well, my other channel. I've just done my Euro 2020 predictor on Football Yannick, so you can check out that channel by clicking the link in the description, or I'll put a card at the top. Alright then, let's talk about Erling Haaland. So I'm going to be quoting a story from the Daily Express today in just a moment. Just so you guys are up to date, you will know the story. Chelsea scored 7 Premier League goals for their top goal scorer, Jorginho. It's the first time that's happened in Premier League history. They generally do create high amounts of chances, but no one's in the area finishing it off. Chelsea are relatively cursed with strikers. I think Tammy Abraham did a pretty good job last season, but generally, you know, we've had so many failed strikers. Costa and Drogba are like the main two, strikers you think of in the last 15 years that have been good, like genuinely good. Roman Abramovich wants a striker to just come in and score a lot of goals for Chelsea, so Chelsea can challenge for the Premier League. Erling Haaland is a goal-scoring machine, but the numbers being mentioned are absolutely insane. Giroud has had his extension triggered, but by all accounts and what's been reported, and I've reported on, is he will be sold. Chelsea are just being intelligent on what is a valuable player still, so they'll make a few million quid on Olivier Giroud. We know the situation with Tammy Abraham. I'm not going to go over it again like a broken record, but it's likely he's sold this summer for a decent amount of money. If he isn't, he will be a rotational striker, which actually leaves Chelsea, if Tammy does go, with no conventional 9. Werner and Kai Havertz aren't conventional number 9s to play down the middle in the Premier League. So Chelsea will be without one. They absolutely want one. Lukaku's come out and said he's staying at Inter. Kane, very unlikely to come to Chelsea. And seemingly Chelsea were priced out of a move for Haaland, but the bubbling news, and I'm going to be quoting this article and then a tweet from the journalist Jan Arga-Fjordtoft, if that's how you say it, in just a moment. And there's a lot of data to come out of this, so let's walk through the article now and I'll react to it with you. Chelsea have been in contact with Erling Haaland's representatives over the possibility of a summer move to Stamford Bridge, according to reports. The 20-year-old has established himself as one of the most prolific strikers in Europe since joining Borussia Dortmund from Red Bull Salzburg of January last year. Off the bat, Chelsea have gone to their representatives to make an inquiry. Big news, but not surprising. Chelsea, quite publicly want the striker, as do many other elite European super clubs. But it's good to know Chelsea have made the approach officially to the representatives. Granted, his buyout clause doesn't activate till next summer, and Dortmund are trying to scare people away with figures, but money talks, man. Haaland has scored 57 goals from 59 appearances in all competitions for Dortmund, earning links to a number of the world's biggest clubs as a result of his formidable attacking prowess. Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and both Manchester clubs have all been mentioned in connection with the Norway international's signature in recent months. The Blues are in need of a top-class striker ahead of next season, with Thomas Tuchel's current options somewhat limited at the top of the pitch. Limited indeed now. Olivier Giroud signed a contract extension earlier this month, but looks to be approaching the end of his career at 34 years of age. And we know the truth is Chelsea triggered a clause for his contract, so I think that's wrong in the article, to sell him and make some money. But their point kind of still stands. Let's read on. While Tammy Abraham and Timo Werner have failed to live up to expectations since the turn of the year. And again, just want to pick up on that. Tammy Abraham hasn't had the chance. I don't think he's fancied by Thomas Tuchel. And with Timo Werner, he very much looks like a wide forward, pressing, running the channels, decoy runs, assists, winning penalties, the odd goal, but not a striker. You know? Kai Havertz has been forced to adapt to a number 9 role in recent outings, with Chelsea able to reap the benefits of landing an out-and-out striker ahead of the next campaign. I don't understand if that line makes complete sense in English, but fair enough, we move. Haaland is believed to be near the top of Tuchel's transfer shortlist, alongside Tottenham's want-away striker Harry Kane. I mean, they're sort of at the top of everyone's list, really, aren't they? However, given Daniel Levy's reluctance to sell his prized asset to the Stamford Bridge club, it seems as though their focus has switched to pursuing a move for Dortmund's attacking talisman. Chelsea have already held talks with the German heavyweights in order to establish the likelihood of a summer switch, according to transfer expert Christophe Terrer. Yet the Belgian journalist, he seems to know a lot about transfers and players, usually Belgians, but fair enough, he might know about Erling Haaland too. It is claimed that Dortmund have asked for a fee of £154 million in order to part ways with their star man, a request that Blues owner Roman Abramovich is reportedly prepared to oblige. And pause. First off, that is an incredibly insane number. I think I've reacted to that figure before on previous Chelsea news videos. Roman Abramovich is... But okay. It's mental how Roman Abramovich would be prepared to pay that, because that is an insane figure, but I guess if he's got the money, that's an insane figure. What else? Dortmund. Now, next summer, they're going to sell him for £60 million or something like that. I think the figure of the buyout clause is 60 million. Fair enough. Maybe like double it. 120, 154, where there was. Where's that coming from? You're about to lose best part of 100 million then next summer. You know, it's all a bit weird. Unless they're really just highballing, starting high, and then eventually he goes for like 130. I'm going to read on. Haaland is under contract until 2024, but he's believed to have a cut price release clause written into his deal, which is set to come into effect at the end of next season. Yeah, and it's like 60 million or something ridiculous. It remains to be seen whether Chelsea can go in for his services this summer or hold out for another year in hope of landing the forward on the cheap. And it will absolutely be on the cheap. The only problem... English. The only problem then is about 400 clubs will be in for Erling Haaland at that price. And you never know what's going to happen. Chelsea are currently champions of Europe. They look pretty good. What if we finish 5th and don't win anything next season? Then we don't look pretty good. So it's kind of, you know, strike while the iron's hot, and Chelsea look like a scintillating, sexy project. Who are champions of Europe, champions of Europe, champions of Europe, champions of Europe. If the newly crowned European champions decide to act on their interest in Haaland, at any point, they will be forced to deal with Mino Raiola. Wah, wah, wah. The player's notoriously difficult agent, who is likely to demand a sizable chunk for himself in order to allow the move to go ahead. The club were previously frustrated by the 53-year-old's interference back in 2017 when Romelu Lukaku opted to join Manchester United over making a Stamford Bridge return. Yeah, that's really important actually, because it's bloody hot. Why am I wearing a hat? Yes, that's really important actually, because in 2017 Conte was desperate for Lukaku, and we now know how much he really loves Lukaku, with him and Lukaku at Inter, or they've recently been at Inter together. So he really wanted Lukaku, ended up with Morata, and by all accounts Chelsea, well Conte thought, but Chelsea thought as well as a club, it was done. Lukaku was coming. Mino Raiola waddled around in the background, did some shady stuff involving money, and he ended up going to Manchester United. When I say shady, I don't know, I'm not, you know, allegedly whatever, I'm not insinuating anything illegal, but money was involved and he went to Man United. You know? So Chelsea are still really upset with the Goblin Demon King, Mino Raiola. Right, let's have a quick read of Jan Argafjotov's tweet regarding Erling Haaland and react to that. Erling Haaland. Chelsea working intense to get Erling Haaland. He is seen as the quote missing end quote player to make them challenge for the Premier League title next season. Fee very high, but confidence that it can be solved. The main obstacle could be the wage structure at Chelsea. Yeah, the wage structure at Chelsea, because there was also some other intense and crazy, insane reports saying he wants £1 million a week, when, you know, Kante's our highest player on 380,000 a week. Yeah, that makes sense. My brain's malfunctioning. So he'd come in, this 20-year-old, and suddenly like get, you know, paid insane amounts more than, you know, 5 times as much, no, more than that, probably 6 times as much as Mason Mount. What am I doing? How much does Mason Mount? Say Mason Mount, he could earn like 10 times as much as Mason Mount, basically, our player of the season. Sorry, I'm malfunctioning live. I'm not even gonna edit this out. This is me, unfiltered. So it's an incredible, insane amount of money being speculated. So The wage structure is broke. Maybe give him some of his like his own image rights. I know sometimes they do that in football. They give them a big, because you sign him, and I think you own part of their image rights, and I think you can negotiate that. Anyway, if he truly wants to go to a big club and challenge for the Premier League, you've got to maybe be realistic with his wages. We don't know the exact situation with that yet. It's only certain reports coming out saying he's demanded that much. The truth is, today, this afternoon, loads of news has bubbled up talking about it. Roman Abramovich reportedly really pushing for it. Chelsea making intense attempts at signing him, at speaking to his representatives. They've already approached Dortmund. So a lot is happening right now, and it's positive because it means Chelsea might really go all in on Erling Haaland to try and finish and solve the problem and win the Premier League title again and push Man City off the summit of English football where they've been sitting for a while now. Roman wants to do that, and maybe he sees Erling Haaland as the player to do it. So let me know what you think, comment down below. Incredible. Of course, I'll keep you posted and updated on this story as soon as there's updates, so make sure you're subscribed with the bell notifications icon switched on. And I'll see you soon, guys, so enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.